Right, it's a sunny, breezy day. Quite a nice temperature, about 23 degrees. We're going to do a quick walk through the garden, see how things are doing sort of mid-September. We had rain all afternoon and last night, so that was good after the heat wave. So let's see how things are. So we're looking at the tree ferns here. These are the ones that are in the big planters, and they've ticked over nicely over summer. They take a lot of water. They're still pushing out new fronds, as we can see. Doing okay. So we've got a greenhouse there. So we've got the arid section, which sort of got neglected this year, as it normally does. Loads of weeds in there, but the actual plants are doing quite well. I've still got potted plants around that, which I've been meaning to plant in there, but what I'm going to do is I'll leave that till next year, let the winter take all the weeds out, and then I'm going to do something with that, make it look a bit neater. But yeah, the plants have been doing well. We've got the Mexican lily, which seemed to have got massive this year. We've got various yuccas straight at the back there. The Brahea almata has done quite well, nice and blue. It's opened three fronds this year and got a spear, so that's doing rather well. Obviously the agave there, the variegated, is ticked away nicely, starting to look a bit like an octopus. Yeah, so there's a lot of the more sort of lush planting at the front here. We've got all the collocaceas, which have done well. I mean, nothing massive, but they've done okay. You know, we've got the pink Chinas, Escalenta, Fonticii, all doing quite well. The Thai giants never got giant this year, not surprisingly, with the way the weather's been. They've been pushing out leaves, but with the weather up and down all the time, they don't like that. They want a constant heat. Yeah, so in general things have done okay. The Arando Downax, or Spanish reed, has done really well this year. All the new canes we can see, they've actually surpassed the height of the old ones. But really good, nice variegation on that. I've got the seating area, which is just full of random potted plants, sort of leftovers from stuff I was selling at the beginning of the year. So that'll all wait till next year now, and we'll do a selling session next year. Yeah, so we've got a variety of the Spanish reed at the back, which is in the ground, and then I've got a raised trough behind this sitting area with the bamboo in it, so it doesn't go out of control. The Tetrapanix is massive. This is one we thought was dead. Well over 3 foot across that leaf. I don't know if we can see right inside there, but I don't know if you can see the old trunk. I cut a lot of that down, so this one is actually come from the ground and surpassed the height of the old trunk already. Yeah, so we've got our congested bananas and various things in there. The little Booty air spafer, that's done really well. That took no damage at all over winter, and that's been sort of pushing out the fronds steadily over summer. Doing okay. Volcano doing well as also. Got a little bit of variegated ginger there. Just a little division I took at the beginning of the year. Yeah, everything seems to be doing quite well. And one I was impressed with is this palm grass. It's not supposed to be hardy, but obviously it survived the really bad winter we had. All died to the ground, but this is all new growth, and some of it is actually sort of pushing the fence line, so it's getting towards over 5 foot. So that's done quite well. Torbay Dazzler, loads of new growth on that, nice and light variegation on that, with a bit of sort of brown in the midriff of the leaves. the big booty airspafer. That is not airspafer, this is odorata. It's one I brought last year. That's kicked out, opened up a few new leaves, and we've got 3 in the centre there ready to open up, so that's done really well. So don't let someone tell you that if you've got a big potted palm that'll sit still for a couple of years, because I brought 2 of these last year and they've both done really well this year. They've hit the ground running. They've just started growing straight away. Yeah, so we've got the Colocasia escalente here. You can see that's quite a decent sized leaf on that. That's one that was left in overground. I always say it, but they are quite tough. Ricinus, not particularly huge leaves, but they've got some height on them, and loads of seed pods. We have got a red one behind it which has got slightly bigger leaves, but I think the grapevine has gone a bit mad this year. Really sort of done a good job of covering the fence, but really sort of encroached in on the border and growing through stuff, but that'll all die back soon enough, and we'll give that a good cut back for the next summer. So yeah, in general this border's done pretty well. It's looking quite good. That is nice and sort of a tropical lush look, with Polonia, which I didn't cut back this year, just let it do its thing, so the leaves aren't giant on that by any means, but yeah, it's looking okay. The leaves are starting to go over a bit now. Like I say, mid sort of September they've seen their best now. We've done a video on the Washingtonia last week. That's done okay. Pushed out some nice big leaves, but not many, but looking good. So yeah, we come past the bridge here to the nice lush tropical area with the bananas at the back. Again, I've done a video on that last week, and all the canna lilies are still looking really good. So I will do a separate video on the palms in the centre bed here, because all but one spear pulled and they've all come back quite well. So over this area we've got the wildlife pond, various cannas here. Always seem a bit slow in this area, don't get so much sun, they are a bit shaded. And then we've got the gunnerer there, and yeah, a couple of them leaves are well over 4 foot, probably pushing closer to 5 foot. And the understated but one of my favourite plants, the Pedicites palmatum, really well in this corner, shaded. So you've got the sort of palmate leaves, that these are sort of pushing 2 foot across, and you get the nice gold speckly, which is sort of faded to more of a white now, but even so, quite nice. Clump of voodoo lilies there. Yeah, so we've got sort of various evergreen shrubs here. We've got the Fattias and some rhododendrons there. Fattias are on this edge, I don't know what it is, they grow really slow for me here, whereas I planted one further up in the shade corner which was smaller than this, exactly the same type, the variegated, and it's already double that size in one season, where this one has been in the ground for about 4 years. So I don't know about that one, that's just one of them things, I guess. So this is the other big booty odorata, which I brought last year. Really nice silvery blue form. So this is a new leaf which has just opened up. We've got one behind it which is still just sort of finishing opening, so it's still sort of attached at the ends, but we'll let nature take its course on that. We've got a big spear. Yeah, we've had some decent growth on this for such a sort of up and down summer. That's done pretty well. Yeah, so we've got a variety of palms here. So from your standard Trachycarpus to your Nico palm there, and we've got the Livingstone chinensis, which never looks true on camera. It always looks really yellowy, but it is a sort of a goldy green, if you like, but it always looks really sickly on camera. I don't know why, but in person it is a lot greener. You'd have to trust me on that one. And we've got camera ops, and again sort of coming towards us, so we've got another big trachycarpus there and a waggy, and the cordyline superstar there. And I can't understate how much, or overstate how much I like this plant. It really is one of my favourite cordylines. Really wide glossy leaves. Yeah, so we had the mower's toes put on a decent amount of growth this year, so it's quite fitting us there next to the Nico palm, both sort of New Zealand plants, so they should feel quite at home. We've got the Tetrapanax, which never came back, and that did have the trunk was pretty much up to sort of fence level, and I cut some off because that went soft, and the rest of the trunk was hard, but that's not come back. So we've just had a big leaf open up on the giant bird of paradise, so that's looking quite good. Nice solid leaf on that. It's got to be over, well, pushing 3 foot if not bigger. Yeah, so with the winter we had a lot of the fuchsias sort of really died back. I don't normally cut them back as such, I just let nature take them their course with it, but yeah, this one's done particularly well. It's sort of almost smothered the Schefflera there, but when this died back I will cut it back a bit, give the Schefflera a bit of breathing space there. Yeah, so again we sort of come round. Obviously we've got the big cordylines here, we've got loads of seeds on them, so we're going to be fighting out the all the volunteers dropping down from them. Yeah, so again we've got a lot of camera ops in this slightly raised area here, and then behind that we've got the biggest tree fern. This is a, I don't know what, 5 footer, done very well. Got another fatsia here, dwarf sugar palm, which is very slow, hasn't really pushed out any growth this year. This is the frond that pushed out last year, which got sunburnt in the spring. It has got a spear coming, so that's going to be one to be watching and be a bit careful with over winter. This is the new rhododendron. We got the giant leaf rhododendron, and we can see it is a big leaf. I mean, we've got the fatsia leaf in the way, but that leaf really is pushing. I mean, some of these leaves are well over 1.5 foot, probably getting close to 2 foot, and I haven't took out the bindweed, so I do need to do that. Yeah, so that area is all done quite well. We've got a big acer in the corner there. Giant bamboo here. It's not giant bamboo, it's just big. I don't even know what type it is, just a couple of little canes I nipped out of someone's garden a few years back, and that's really filled out that area now. I don't talk about bamboo much because I don't particularly, once I don't like it, I just don't like it in my garden. It's too invasive, and I don't care what anyone says, even the allegedly behaved clumping bamboos will eventually take over the place. A lot of them will sit nicely for 5, 6, 7 years, no problem, and then they just explode. We have got the what is it, the Eucalyptus gunnii there, sort of in the background. I did cut that back last year to about 6 foot, so that's them branches that you're seeing are probably 15 foot, I'd say. So the trunk is right at the back here, and this is the fatsia I was talking about earlier. This was a small potted specimen beginning of the year before I put it in, and that really has exploded. I'm just absolutely amazed at the rate of growth on that one, and it's got some nice variegation on some of the leaves as well. Yeah, I've got the biggest Trachycarpus hiding in here as well. So the sort of canopy of that is at the back there. Yeah, so the shade corner's done okay. This was sort of freshly all planted up the beginning of this year. The sum and substance has taken a bit of beat, and that stayed pretty good until sort of late summer. Then the slugs obviously got fed up with everything else and moved over to this area. So yeah, we did get some big leaves on it, but the slugs are starting to attack it now. Chamaedorea radicalis palm there. That's a pot with a cluster of, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 palms in there. So I may well take this hostra out and just put the radicalis there instead. Alright, so we have got some dwarf cannas which have sort of gone over now. I do like these dwarf cannas. They don't get any more than sort of 1.5 foot, 2 foot tall. The flowers are nice on them. This orange with the yellow centres, but I leave the flower pods on these because they do seed, and I grow a lot of them from seeds. They're nice little filler plants if you want sort of beginning sort of front of the border or anything like that. Again, we've got sort of a big red star crammed in there as well, alongside the canariensis, which has made a good recovery after a bit of winter damage, but plenty of new fronds on that. So this was all new planting, this area here with the new pond. So we've got a sort of a tub filter sunken in the ground here, just a gravel filter with which the water gets pumped out the pond through that and back into the pond. And we've put some colocasia in there, various types, all doing quite well. Obviously we've got the pink china there, it's sort of starting to take over a bit. We have got the white lava, which is now starting to open a new leaf there, looking good. Coal miner, and we've got the Maui gold at the back here, which nothing huge but just a nice colour. Yeah, so we've got some cord lines, we've got pink passion, standard red star, and that is a coral cord line. So slightly muted colours, but that'll just sort of give you a nice clump of difference to all the greenery. Got another couple of these Mexican lilies. These are the variegated ones. They're quite small when I put them in. They've been growing away steadily, looking quite good. We've got another one over here, which is slightly more shady position, but still doing okay. And then obviously we've got the oleander there, which that heat wave last week really got the flowers starting to go on that, so they're sort of quite a nice hot pink colour on them. So this is the new pond area. Somehow we've got watercress coming in there, and that's sort of started taking over. I've got to keep on top of that because we've got a waterfall here, and the roots really do clog up the waterfall, and we can start losing water. So I have to keep an eye on that and make a regular sort of path through for the water to get through before it starts spilling over the edge of the waterfall. So we've got what I call the American palm bed. I haven't really done an update on this, so we've got some palms here. There's a queen palm in the middle, which is done okay, start to go pinnate, sort of half the leaf has, and it's pushing out a new leaf. Again, it's been an up and down summer, so they really do want some heat to get going. That's been growing very slowly. Got a little sable minor which has pushed out a leaf and a half, and we've got a needle palm the other side which has pushed out half a leaf, I'd say. And then we've got the saw palmetto there, which we've got some nice new green growth on that. It's supposed to be the silver form, but I think that's the green form. Yeah, so that sort of takes us back to the bridge area. So that is just a real quick look round the tropical garden, tropical style garden. in the UK, on the east coast in Suffolk. So let's just have a quick pan around what the sort of overall view looks like. So we've got the big palms in that corner, cordylines and tree fern there, with some smaller palms come along this sort of more shadier border, round to the evergreens, and then the gunnerer, another tree fern, and then we've got the sunnier border, which has done quite well this year. It looked a bit blank at the beginning of the year, but looking pretty good now. And then we've got the big splash of leaves in the middle there. So that is pretty much how the garden looks. Obviously we've got the newly constructed hothouse. I've got a very varied potted plants along here, and let's just finish up on one of my favourite cannas, Tropicana Black. Really deep red flowers on these. Nice foliage, which is quite dark, but it's sort of starting to green off now. It's sort of the leaves are sort of a bit sun bleached, I guess you'd say, and that's yeah, one of my favourite cannas. Nice dark leaf, just a good solid grower, that one. Alright, so that is the UK tropical garden after a bad winter and an up and down summer. Thanks for watching.